So like everyone, the purpose of today is just to let you see, kind of other insights and ways that we use maths, numbers in our everyday lives, everyday jobs. I'm a marketing analyst, so I actually work within marketing media, which is not something that anybody, going back to when Susan talked about all the opportunities, it probably isn't something that people think of when they go, oh, if I study maths, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to end up in the marketing industry. So I'm just going to give you a bit of an overview on that, but also just let you understand how the background and the skills that I've learned through studying maths, working with it, has really brought me to where I am today, on the other side of the world from where I grew up, and it's given me that opportunity. But also, even just bringing me here in front of you guys today. So I'm going to be a little bit of a pain and ask everyone to stand up. I want you to sit down if you do not have a Facebook account. Okay. All right. I want you to sit down if you've never seen an ad on your Facebook account, something similar to these. Now, it is unlikely that it will be same sort of brands that I get, because it's going to be tailored to you. Sit down if you don't really remember ever seeing advertising. Okay. Now, there's a reason for that. You can sit down. The reason for that is that advertising spend in Australia in 2017 on Facebook was just short of $500 million. That's just in Australia alone. It's a pretty significant amount of money. So if that's just what they're spending on Facebook, what are we spending on everything else? Well, the total budget, or the total marketing spend across all channels, TV, outdoor, Google search, was $15 billion, just in Australia and just in 1 year. So that Facebook spend isn't seeming quite so much anymore. It's actually only about 3%. TV was around, was just short of $4 billion. Outdoor, when you see some of the big billboards ads, which you might see some of the ambassadors on, we've got some of them, that was about 1.1 billion. So there's a lot of money being spent. So there's a lot of budgets at play. So how do people decide how they're going to spend some of that budget, right? So how did they decide how much to spend on TV and how much to spend on Facebook? Well, let's imagine you're a chief marketing officer, right? So you're in charge of a lot of budget. You might work for, say, a brand like Neutrogena, who were one of the ones that I get served ads for. Your business last year, sales were up 10%. And these are entirely made up. I do not know what Neutrogena's sales are. So we're up 10%. You spent more on your marketing. You're pretty good at your job, so are your team. And so you think, well, a lot of that's down to me. You go to your chief exec and you say to her, I want more money to spend on marketing. Highly unlikely she'll go, sure, no problem, here you go, have some more money. What they'll say is, well, prove to me that marketing works. If you can prove to me, show me the numbers, then I might give you some more money. So what do? You know it works because, we know marketing's been around for years and years, so we're pretty sure it works and you're good at your job. But you need those numbers to prove it. And so that's basically where me and my team, where we come in. So what we do is we collect all sorts of data from these clients, from industry, from external sources. And what we do is we build a mathematical model. This is where we bring in our stats and our maths background. What do I mean by that? Well, we basically build an equation. And what we want to do is come up with an equation that helps us to predict, forecast future sales. And so what we can take from that is say, okay, you had your sales last year were X amount, and we know how much of that was due to marketing. So that's going to solve one question. So example, let's take, we've got a brand and their sales last year were $500 million. And what we do is we build a model and we get our results out and we could say to them, well, marketing was $100 million of that. That's pretty good. Well, how much did I spend? Say you spent 10 million. So you spent 10 million and you got 100 million back for it. And that's what we talk about a return on investment of $10. So what do we mean? We mean that for every dollar that you spent, you got $10 back. I'd be pretty happy with that. You know? If you went out and you said, all right, I'm going to spend $1 on something, and actually you're just going to give me $10. Awesome, great, thanks. So that's answer number one. Yep, it works. I've got an ROI. I'm not really happy with $10. I'd like $15 back for every dollar that I spend. So what do? Well, then there's another question comes to us, and they say, well, how can I get a little bit more money back? What if I take some of that money out of that TV? So if you remember, in Australia, it was about $4 billion. What if I take some of that and actually I put it into Facebook? Or what if I spent more on online video, because people are watching, things online a lot more? Can I actually then more money back? You say, okay, we come up with a new plan. And so we say, all right, this is now how you should spend your money. And then there's another question. It was, all right, so let's take Christmas campaign. We'll see all the ads in the run up to Christmas. Should I start advertising that 2 weeks before Christmas, 3 weeks before Christmas, 3 months before Christmas? So then you go, okay, now now you want, what should my budget be? How much should I spend on each channel? And what should that timing be? And these questions keep coming, and then they go, well, what if I've got a new budget and everything else? And so they just go on. And ultimately, that's what we can answer. So we help them to answer that question so that the chief marketing officer can go back and not actually even just deliver on that first question, which was, prove to me it works, because we've done that. They can say, but I can go even better. I can tell you I can show you that if you spend more, but if you spend it better, you're actually going to get more money back, which is all about then business growth. And also you'll look really good to your CEO. So why do I love this? And I mean, this is just one, that's just one example of what I do in my day-to-day jobs. But 2 main reasons that I really enjoy it. I get to work with such a variety of people. So I'm doing all the maths in the background, but I don't sit away just left to get on with my numbers with my head down and then give this to someone else. I'm speaking to creative teams, I'm speaking to marketing teams, I'm speaking to these chief execs. So I've got this exposure across a wide base of people, and I can continue to learn from them. But it means as well that I know that what we're doing is really impacting on businesses. And that gives me to my second point, is that numbers in general, but also a lot of numbers that we produce, they really provide a lot of the backbone to a lot of key business decisions based off of the problems that they want to solve. And that, again, comes back to what Susan was talking about earlier. Aside from actually having been the ones to do the numbers, we have this ability to problem solve. You've got the problem, you've got the question, you use maths, you use numbers to try to come up with a solution. But then we also go that next step and we go, well, let's take that solution, actually make it insightful and make it that the business can actually make some key decisions off of it. So we know that what we're using, or what we're doing rather, is actually being used on a day-to-day basis. And it really is just through the experience and the things that I've learned along the way that have opened up all these doors to me. I mean, I do not have a creative bone in my body. I am maths through and through. So I never thought I would be anywhere near a marketing agency. But I kind of see it as a little bit like merging science and art, because it gives me the opportunity to use the science skills and the math skills that I've got, but actually still going out and talking to people and understanding commerce and understanding business. And it is really without the skills and everything and the opportunities that maths has given me, I wouldn't have had those opportunities and I wouldn't have had those doors open to me. So 100% behind that, if you study maths now, it really will give you a lot more opportunities in your future careers. And actually, just on one other thing that Susan mentioned, and she talked about, there is no proven difference between boys and girls and their ability to do maths. Now, my mum used to always say, and she was probably a little bit biased because she had 4 kids who were pretty good at maths, but she was adamant that children get their maths brains from their mothers. So I'd actually counter Susan's point and say that maybe girls are actually better at maths than boys. So just keep that one in mind. Thank you.
One of the things that I would like to reinforce that Leslie said, a lot of people come, or a lot of students in particular, when they talk to us at events, come up and they say that one of the reasons they don't want to think about maths as a career is that they envisage that all mathematicians work at little desks all by themselves, and they don't want to do that. And what you should be sort of finding out today is that most of the people we've got here, they are working on maths problems, but they're not working by themselves. Most mathematicians work as part of teams, and we collaborate and work as teams to solve problems.